Finally got the parts to fix the car. New upper radiator hose, pair of high-strength stainless steel hose clamps, and, of course, a replacement for the failed coolant level sensor. Drained the radiator so coolant wouldn't splash everywhere when I took the hose off. We'll be taking a closer look at its color and opacity later. Quick comparison of the two hose clamps. This is what I just took off the car. It's a standard style with just the slots cut here as teeth. This is the type that the car would have originally come with. Has these teeth, but they don't go all the way through. A lot more metal, stronger clamp. When the radiator got replaced 2 years ago, this hose was in good shape, so the mechanic left it in. By now, you can see that it's not quite as supple as it used to be. The ends have been pretty badly crushed by the clamps. This end that goes to the radiator never sealed again after the clamp broke, so the car would slowly dribble coolant as it drove along. Time to replace this. Replaced the coolant level sensor in the expansion tank. Hooked up my multimeter. Right now, the float is at the top with the tank upside down, so that would be full of coolant, everything okay. If I turn the tank over, float goes to the bottom as if the car was low on coolant, and the switch turns on. Expansion tank is back on, hose clamps are secure, the new switch has been plugged in, and I filled the rest of the system such that the level sits just at the bottom of the tank. Since the float is all the way down, the low coolant warning light should illuminate when I start the car, and then go off once I fill the system all the way to the proper level. There's a look at the warning lights. 3, 2, 1, contact. Yep. There's the warning light on, and the check engine light too, because the fuel cap was a bit loose the other day and got the computer in a bit of a fuss. System is now filled with fresh coolant. We'll still need to let it warm up to get the rest of the air out, but the warning light should now be off. Here we go. Hooray! Coolant warning light works when the coolant is low and turns off properly when there is enough coolant in the system. In the follow-up to the coolant level sensor and radiator hose repair video, here's a look at some engine coolant. On the right, 50-50 mix, brand new, never been in an engine. In the center, this is what I took out of the car when I replaced the hose, about 2 years old. Still good, but starting to have a bit of a reddish color, but this is still good. On the left, this came out of the other car. It's been in there maybe 6 or 7 years, and it is not looking very healthy. That's reddish brown with rust. There's a little bit of sediment in there. It's a lot more opaque than either of these two. And in general, it's not looking so great. Most antifreeze contains a fluorescent dye that glows very brightly under ultraviolet light. This is useful in detecting leaks. Click off the overhead, you can see the new mixture is glowing a bright green, but the two used mixtures here and here are only glowing on the edge closest to the black light, suggesting that something in there is opaque to ultraviolet. Here's a side view. Again, only the closest layer of the used coolant is glowing. Very interesting.